So unfortunately, these guys have gone and done, in my opinion, the unforgivable and taken away the trading platform and just reverted back to MetaTrader 4, which is great for EAs and everything. But I personally hate looking at it from a manual trading perspective. It's very clunky. It's like I'm dealing with Windows 95. And it just, I did my best to make it look a little bit more presentable compared to the default settings so that it's actually usable. But overall, it's just still uh, not a very good experience, like in just personally. I guess it's not that big a deal in the grand scheme of things because of how little I trade or little I try to trade, how infrequently specifically I try to trade, but still, just having to deal with clunky software as a techie is a bad experience. So this to me is a huge turnoff, but something that I don't want to let go to waste because I got pretty dang close to passing the evaluation, and then I hit a losing streak, so now I'm not as close. But this is just motivation to get past the finish line or get to the finish line, and just be done with it, and maybe switch this account to an EA account or something because it doesn't look like they're gonna bring back TradingView. So little things like that. I mean, it sounds like I'm being nitpicky, and I will admit that it totally. Uh, Anybody who says that I'm nitpicking, I'm not gonna refute that or deny that at all. But I think those subtleties matter when psychology is 80%, maybe even 90%, arguably, of trading and being in a positive emotional state and liking what you see on the screen. I think does affect your trading to an extent, and this is a mental exercise in just getting over the bottleneck. This is what happens when you trade other people's money. You don't get to choose everything that you want. So, that being said, market's about to close right now. The spread is disgusting right now, so I'm not really going to place any kinds of trades right now, probably except for maybe a limit order that I'm looking at the 675. But we'll just zoom in a little bit and see what we have going over here. That's a little bit too much. Okay. We have divergence. This is a 15-minute chart. We have divergence. We had made a lower low, and then made a higher low on the RSI. This was just yet another fake out. If you just look at it on the big on the grand scheme of things, even we had divergence all the way back like last week, and none of it worked. Fake out. This is a fake out, right? And this is another divergence, right? With lower low, higher low, fake out. I mean fake out as in it did go up, but it didn't complete a quarter. And all my trades for this trading strategy are quarter trades. So it did move back up counter trend slightly, but the downtrend has just been grinding so consistently that none of these have actually panned out. Zero of them have panned out. I actually missed some opportunities for wins because of hidden bearish divergence that we talked about last week, but that's not usually something I have my eye out for. So that's just another thing that I need to get better at, which is just not seeing only the obvious divergence but the hidden divergence as well. So like an example of that would be from here to here. You actually had a higher high in momentum, but that could not bring price to a higher high. That is a hidden divergence, which indicates continuation of the trend. Hidden divergence is always an indication of a continuation, regardless of which direction. So that I missed that. You could say that this was in retrospect just a bunch of hidden divergences that were opportunities that in hindsight, I can see it, but at the time that it was happening, I couldn't see it. So that's the lesson learned here. I just didn't see the hidden divergence. Right now, again, it's another episode of, okay, here's regular divergence, or you could even call this a double bottom, quadruple bottom, whatever you want to call it. It's just an ugly range bound type of situation. This is on the 30 minute, and if I go back onto the hourly, it's like it's just big candle, choppy candle after choppy candle, pretty much all of last week and continuing on to this Monday. The 675 that I wanted to have, I think would have still worked, so I might still go with that, give that another shot as kind of like a last stand, because uh, it just continues to show itself, and this is the hardest thing in the world to do, is like when your strategy, when the rules of your entry are met, but they keep getting destroyed nonstop. It's the hardest thing to just take it again, because you know eventually it will work, but like which one? You know, there's the natural tendency to want to skip a few when you're on a losing streak. It's like, oh, I don't want to keep losing like this. Let's skip a few until like it cools off. This losing streak cools off, and maybe if I skip some, I'll save some on losses. The problem with that is, um, as tempting as that is, I can't justify, like, no one can predict when the next winner is going to be. So it's one of those things you just kind of have to take it until it happens. And right now it pains me to do it, but right now that's at the 675 and the 575. And so those are the two limit orders that I might put. The current disgusting spread doesn't matter that much. The market's about to close for an hour in the next minute or so. So then I know this isn't going to drop 75 points in the next 60 seconds. Like, that's just not how the market works. So anything is possible, but that's just one of those things that's highly unlikely. So I'm fine putting this trading. I really hate how this has to go. So you probably can't see the order window. I wonder if I can make the order window appear on the side. The order, can I can't dock this order window at all. Let's see if I can do one-click trading, which is, I never liked that. That's not my style. Okay, that's a one-click. All right, whatever. Okay, so it's, you won't be able to see it, but the stop loss, it's the 675. And the stop loss is 600. And the take profit is 33,925. Okay, I can't do that when the market is closed. That's annoying as well. Okay, so I won't do this until later on. I should have just done it before instead of waiting. Shows how much I know about MetaTrader. I really try to stay away from this as much as I possibly can. I don't see the appeal. Well, actually, no, I do see the appeal because of all the algorithms and bots that are compatible with it, but I don't see the appeal for people who like to trade it manually. I think they're just making excuses for something that should be updated, that looks like it's 30 years outdated. Oh well, whatever. That's just my opinion. That's it really for now. I'm just going to take the 675 and the 575 long, and that's my two backup orders, and or one is the main, and then one is the 575 being the backup if it gets hit, and hopefully that will, the divergence, the positive divergence that's been building up for a week, actually holds up. The alternative is to play it aggressive and chase it at the 750, but I'm a little hesitant to do that because the downtrend is so strong. I would want to see some kind of trend line. This is just like a beautiful downward trend line. I would want to see that trend line break, and then play with the retracement of that, before I want to start chasing price. Um, if if I do see a hidden divergence for a continuation, I will take that as well. But right now, I'm not seeing it on, not an obvious one. It would be a forced trade, if anything, because you see like a high here, and then, do I have a cursor? Yeah, here we go. So I have a so I have a so I have a high here, and then a higher high here, and that is consistent. Both are higher highs, and then I have a high here, and then a higher high here. So it, there isn't really a hidden divergence right now, but I am on the lookout for it because it has faked me out before. That was the winning play all week last week, and I'm not used to that. So lesson learned there, and I'm now looking for yet another formation for divergence going forward in the future.